Let me ask you a question. Do you know why most salespeople hate prospecting? Prospecting religiously produces excellent and predictable results. New Year's target turns sales rep into prospecting machine. Everyone to get ahead in the New Year's first quarter. New hires are often prospecting champions armed with nothing but enthusiasm and strong desire to prove themselves. They go full speed, even though their product knowledge is still somewhere on a shaky ground. I have seen personally many new hires that turn that lead into a sold account simply because no one told them that these leads were worthless. When you have no biases about any lead, you face with open mind the unsold and turn it into sold. You see, prospecting have 4 objectives. Many salespeople know the purpose behind prospecting, but many do not know its core objectives. You see, knowing your objectives make prospecting more efficient and more effective. And the key objectives are: first, setting appointment. You see, an appointment is a commitment of interest on your business solution. The prospect is saying to you, I'm willing to entertain your offer if it advances my personal interest. The second thing is qualifying the lead and gathering information about the business pain and the business crippling challenge. That means qualifying a leads mean you establish that there is first a need for your product. There is a time frame also where your business solution need to be implemented that creates a sense of urgency. The customer have an appropriate budget as well, and that's very important. And the customer finally has the authority to enter in a contract. That means there is a need, there is a time frame, there is money and authority. All these 4 elements need to be together in order to qualify a lead. And the third thing is closing the sale. That is simply turning your prospect into customer. And the 4th element is the familiarity. The more familiar a prospect is with you and your company, the more likely they will accept and be willing to return your call or reply to your email or even accept a social media connection or respond to a text or an in-person query. You see, professional salespeople work hard to build an ongoing outreach to their prospect to build trust and familiarity. The primary purpose is to ignite engagement, interest, and trust in the familiar. So if you are selling complex, high-ticket, high-risk, long-cycle product or services to these C-suite executives, your primary objective behind prospecting is to set an appointment with one or a group of these decision makers. On the other hand, if you're selling a transactional, low-ticket, low-risk product, your primary objective will be closing the sale and gathering information. And in the third position, if you are an outbound or field rep selling a transactional, low-risk, low-ticket product, your primary reason is to set an appointment and secondarily gather information. And if you knock on residential or business doors, your objective is to close the deal on the spot or at least advance the sale. Additionally, what are the 3 prospecting P's that you should know? Let me share them with you. First, holding back, procrastinating. No one is immune to procrastination. It is a disease that plagues the human race. Jumping into action is the antidote against it. So you gotta move fast. Choose action over inaction. Grab the phone and start calling people each day. The phone is a money maker. Doing nothing is a dream killer. So do not wait until you are broke or about to lose your job or get fired before you take action. Procrastination is a soul virus that kills your spirit of initiative and kills the opportunity you could have had if you stepped up your game. The second thing is perfectionism. Many competent people become ineffective because they take too much time organizing their thoughts, workplace, and preparing to do their job. What should normally take anyone 5 minutes may take them a couple hours to do. So perfectionism is a fear-based emotion and fear of not being good enough while sending an email, making a call, or making a presentation of your product. You see, the perfectionists want to succeed badly, but they don't trust their own qualification and talent enough to take a chance on themselves. So they hide behind perfectionism to mask their self-defeating emotion. The best antidote to perfectionism is taking massive action and accepting doing it poorly until you become good at doing it well, good at managing your speed and accuracy at the same time. You cannot get all the data information you need all the time. Therefore, you need to trust your own gut, faith in yourself, and keep moving forward. So stop your inner negative self-talk because it slows you down. Perfection does not exist in a non-perfect universe. Therefore, stop sweating the small stuff and focus on the big picture by serving your customer best. And the third element is paralysis from analysis. You've all heard this term. So core reluctance is psychological and emotional fear of the unknown. Many salespeople get anxious to dial total stranger or push a door to introduce themselves to strangers. Suppose you cannot bring yourself to do it after being trained on it several times. You are either or probably in the wrong job, and that's okay. You see, paralysis from analysis is an entertaining, pessimistic scenario in your head that stops you from doing your job. Example, what if they say no? What should I do if? What if they say this or that? You see, rather than taking action, the salesperson spends a great deal of their time going over this what ifs binge, followed by an over preparation for an event that might never happen. So what's the solution? The solution is simply take immediate, massive action, accept the fact that you will make mistakes, and that is how you're going to learn. So finally, deprive these 3 P's of their most vital energy source, and that is time. By simply jumping into action, you turn negative waste time into positive productive time. You see, cold calling has everything to do with one mental state. The moment you allow a scintilla of doubt or hesitance in your mind, it becomes a full-blown disease that will immobilize you from taking action to achieve your real goal. I understand that prospecting is tough business. A slew of rejection can wear down fast a salesperson with low conviction. But I know also that great sales professionals build a thick skin and know how to shield their belief from the impact of daily rejection. You do that by focusing on the prize rather than the obstacles they face to get to their reward. You see, weak sales-minded salespeople become adept at finding a variety of stalls and excuses to avoid prospecting. Some would instead go without even a commission check rather than cold call or prospect. We all understand that prospecting is probably the most disliked task of being a salesperson. Each rejection feels like having to endure a root canal without any kind of anesthesia. A considerable opportunity loss feels like you are worthless and I would say third-grade phony professional. Prospecting fills up the top funnel of your pipeline, and it takes several filtering processes to extract good leads from bad leads. It's just like extracting gold. It takes 100,000 ounces of ore to recover 1 ounce of gold. You can see the magnitude. So no matter how good you are, no matter how many centers of influence you have and connection you have, you still need to perform the discipline of prospecting to stay sharp, collect market data, gather intel on your competitors, and grow your market share and income. You see, prospecting is not an optional behavior. It is a mandate to your success. You should know also that prospecting is a required discipline to sales success. It requires extreme focus and high resolve. It requires a cadence and a scheduled block time. If you handle long cycle, large deals with multiple level of decision maker, then you should allocate 15 to 20% of your time to prospect, which means 6 hours to 8 hours per week should be allocated. If you focus on short cycle, low ticket, high velocity account, then you should dedicate 40% to 60% of your time to prospect, which means 16 to 24 hours a week to prospecting, assuming you work 40 hours per week. You should never postpone prospecting to wait for better conditions, like better prospect, or better weather, or better market condition, or better circumstance. Prospecting time is never right. If you look for excuses, you will find many. That I can guarantee. So focus on doing the work, and miraculously, you will find that bad times are the best times to prospect and cold call. Let me share with you a real story here. John was an avid prospect, but by the way, he hated prospect, yet he promised himself that he would prospect every day, whether it rains or shines, every day until he overcome his phobia of prospect. So after a few weeks of rejection, his tolerance to rejection went up, and he started writing all the rejection he got every single day. At night, he drafted 3 to 5 answers to each rejection he got. Then he spent his day prospecting and rehearsing his answers between customer appointment and at lunchtime. Soon he started closing deals faster than anyone else in the whole company. One day, a major blizzard hit his city extremely hard and lasted several days. John decided to go out despite the hazardous condition. He didn't want to break his promise, so he went out. He was surprised because he got to do more business these days than the average typical quarter worth of business. He says the reason was simple. Every single salesperson in the city was home watching TV and worrying about the weather condition they could not control. All gatekeepers, by the way, were home as well. Only the decision makers were at work these days because they had so much to lose if they stayed home. They were available, uninterrupted, and open to listening to my value proposition. Selling them was like walking in the park. So the idea here is you got to prospect each and every single day, whether you like or not, because that's the way how you're gonna make money. Now, I understand in some type of businesses, some of you might have huge center of influence that feed you leads, but that's never enough, because some of the greatest large account, whale account as we call them, could be something that you can self-source sometime. So never neglect this aspect. There will be a part 2 in this segment. I just want to let you know ahead of time. I hope that you really enjoyed the video and would like you to comment if you like the video, as well as follow up and subscribe. Talk to you soon, and thank you very much. I appreciate your time.